Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this. I trust you are having a beautiful day. I love the Course of Miracles. Those of you who are familiar with my work know that ACIM is really the foundational material that I work with on a day-to-day basis and what I love to share with others. And so this has been a project in the making for a long time. And I'm just going to go for it. I press record, I press stream, and I wanted to take us through the lessons in the Course of Miracles. And there's 365 lessons. Each lesson is like a mantra for the day. It's a phrase with perhaps a page or two of explanation as to what that sentence means and how to use it throughout the day. So we're going to start with lesson one. And lesson one says, "Nothing I see in this room, on the street, from this window, in this place means anything. Now look slowly around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. This table does not mean anything. This chair does not mean anything. This hand does not mean anything. This foot does not mean anything. This pen does not mean anything. Then look further away from your immediate area and apply the idea to a wider range. That door does not mean anything. That body does not mean anything. That lamp does not mean anything. That sign does not mean anything. That shadow does not mean anything. Notice that these statements are not arranged in any order and make no allowance for differences in the kinds of things to which they are applied. That is the purpose of the exercise. The statement should merely be applied to anything you see. As you practice the idea for today, use it totally indiscriminately. Do not attempt to apply it to everything you see, for these exercises should not become ritualistic. Only be sure that nothing you see is specifically excluded. One thing is like another as far as the application of the idea is concerned. Each of the first three lessons should not be done more than twice a day, preferably morning and evening, nor should they be attempted for more than a minute or so, unless that entails a sense of hurry. A comfortable sense of leisure is essential. So this lesson, the first lesson in the workbook of A Course in Miracles, is really laying this foundation of curiosity. And in the Bible, it says that we need to become like little children to enter the kingdom of God. And the Course of Miracles is using this lesson in a similar fashion, meaning children approach life with a level of curiosity. They are not sure what things are for. Consider a baby curious about his or her hand. What is this for? Does it go in my mouth? Does it go over there? What are my feet for? So there is this lack of conceptualization that children have. They are open. They're a blank canvas. And the Course of Miracles, similarly, is giving us an opportunity to really sit back, set aside our preconceived notions about what this is for, just for a little bit of time, so that we can learn to create space from our thinking mind. In the yoga practice, this is the same concept, where my yoga teacher used to say that thoughts are make-believe. We often identify ourselves with our thoughts, what we think something is about, what we think something is for, especially as adults, because as we grow, we learn how to fit into the material world around us. And because the Course in Miracles is a metaphysical text, meaning beyond the physical, it's inviting us to sit back and to observe. In the yoga practice, this is the same thing. When we sit in meditation, in Padmasana at the end of class, there is a moment of sitting in the seat of wisdom in this observing space. I am simply going to observe the thoughts in my mind, the way that one goes to the other. Because the alternative is, if I if I go inside my thoughts, then I become my thoughts. If I have thoughts that are sad, then I become sad. If I have anxious thoughts, I become anxious. So to become the observer is so powerful. And the first lesson in A Course in Miracles is inviting us to simply practice that. It says, nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything, is an invitation to simply observe and to detach ourselves from the things that we think we know. Now, the Course of Miracles, throughout the 365 lessons, is literally taking us on a 180-degree shift away from the thoughts of fear, which have become super normalized. We often don't even realize that we're having fearful thoughts. We call it stress, overwhelm, anxiety, frustration. And then those thoughts and feelings direct our lives. The Course of Miracles is saying, hey, can you step back from your thoughts, observe your thoughts, and if you are the one observing your thoughts, then you are not the thoughts themselves. You are the one watching it. So it's almost like you're watching a movie. It's very obvious when you're watching a film that the film is occurring on a screen and you are the one sitting and watching it. But to the body, to the thinking mind, for example, if we're watching violence, or even, on the flip side, a love affair or something, the feelings that it provokes, the mind and the body do not know the difference between watching something and actually experiencing something. So this lesson is setting the tone, teaching us how to move away from the things that we think we know, which are often rooted in the thought system based in fear, the one that we learned when we got here, and slowly directing us to trust and to experience and to practice thinking the thoughts of love, the higher thoughts, being connected to that which is innocent within us, which has not been affected by the world. And this is a practice, it's a skill set that the Course in Miracles is basically saying it can teach us. It's one of the ways, it's one of the doors that leads us to the divine. It's not the only way, but it is a very powerful, practical, and very, very useful text that can support us in retraining the way that the mind thinks and settling more and more into the innocence that we are and the observer. So we can be curious and we don't necessarily have to be the one that knows everything all the time. Isn't that such a relief? So that's all I have for you today. These are going to be really quick videos where I can come in here. I'll read the lesson. We'll have a little discussion about it and move on to the next day. I wish you a very, very beautiful time. Bye for now.